What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lonnie from Flight Sim Gaming. Today we are doing a flight with Air North in the PMDG 737-700. We are flying out of Yellowknife and we're heading west to Whitehorse. It is a real-world flight flown by Air North in the 737. I believe it's done in the 500 or the 300. Don't have one of those in the simulator. I could have done it in the 600, but I don't have that aircraft. So we are here with the 737-700. I do believe Air North has a 737-800. I'm not sure if it's in service, though, but I do know that they have one. Again, real-world flight flown by Air North. Now, this flight generally is a connecting flight to Whitehorse from Toronto via Yellowknife. So this would be, I guess, leg number 2 on that flight. From Toronto would be to Yellowknife, Yellowknife to Whitehorse. That's typically how this flight is. But anyways, you can see it's snowing down on the ground here in Yellowknife. It's pretty dark and gloomy outside for it being about 12 o'clock noon local time. Today's block time is about an hour and 45 minutes in the air. We are expecting, the winds currently in Whitehorse are calm, so we are expecting an ILS approach. Worst case, we do another RNAV approach, but everything looks pretty good in Whitehorse in terms of weather conditions, and it's pretty clear as of right now. But anyway, while we got GSX doing GSX things, let's jump inside the aircraft and let's get it powered up so we can get ready for departure. Come down here over to the FMS, pause in it. Reference airport is Yellowknife. Take the GPS left and we'll plug it into the IRS pause. Beautiful. Today's route, Yellowknife over to Whitehorse. Today's flight number, Air North 834. We'll plug that in and we'll flight plan request. Take the info from SimBrief. We're going to go ahead and set payload and fuel.
Bus is coming.
Takes about 10 seconds or so before we can actually load it and activate it. Activate that and execute. Beautiful. Over to the departure page here. We are departing off of the Yellowknife 2 RNAV. Sorry, it's just the Yellowknife 2 departure, not an RNAV departure. Off of runway 34. We'll go ahead and execute that. If we come to our legs page, we do have our waypoints plugged in. Beautiful. We'll come over to the departure page, and we are on the Gorov 2 for 32B. Arrival for the ILS Zulu 32 left. Transition. Let's just verify something here. Sigma. Execute that. Beautiful. Come back to the legs tab here. Let's just make sure we have no discons. Nope. Everything looks fantastic. Beautiful. Over to the init ref page, perf init request. Let's go ahead and request that. Load that, execute, beautiful. So we have a zero fuel weight of 53.3, cost index of 10. We're cruising up to, climbing up to flight level 380. Transalt is 18,000. Now, let's go ahead and plug in our takeoff information here. Selecting runway 34. It's going to be windy. The winds are 300 at 12. Takeoff flaps is probably going to be a flap 1 config if I had to guess. Rating, we'll do takeoff, import weather. Perfect. Flaps 1. Trim of 5.4. And And we got 34, 35, 38. With a trim of 5.4. Somewhere about there. Parking brake can go on, so we have a V-tube 138. Let's come up top here. We'll plug that in. Beautiful. We have a QNH or altimeter 2961.
Passenger's bus is coming. Beautiful.
Heading is going to be 340, and we're initial climb clearance is 4,000. 340 on the heading. $4,000 set in there. Beautiful. Fantastic.
Passengers boarding starting.
While we have the boarding going on here, so look at our departure here in Yellowknife. So basically it's runway heading, and then we are expecting vectors to our flight plan route. For runway 34, climb heading 340 or as assigned for vectors, maintain 4,000 unless otherwise assigned. Expect clearance to flight plan altitude, flight level within 10 minutes after departure. It's going to be a nice straight out departure, then we're going to make a left turn. The winds are 300 at 12, scattered clouds at 1,000, broken at 1,400, overcast at 4,000. It's light snow, -5, altimeter 2961. Beautiful. Got the passengers boarding up. It's going to be a full aircraft on this departure out to Whitehorse. In the meantime, let's come back upstairs, get the rest of the aircraft all configured, ready to go. (38,000 feet). And we have to plug in our landing information. So our landing alt, airport elevation 2,300 feet. Looks like boarding is complete. APU gen is on. APU bleed can come on. If you come back down here, go over to the menu tab, FS actions, ground service. We're going to go ahead and remove the wheels and chocks. And we're going to call up GSX. Let's get a pushback. Prepare for push. Disregard the ice treatment. It's going to be a spicy departure, ladies and gents. I cannot seem to tame this aircraft with a crosswind. So, there's a problem when rotating the PMDG 737. You know, I've been doing a little bit of, I guess, research on YouTube and watching other people take off in the aircraft. doesn't matter which version that you're using, anytime you're pulling the yoke back on rotate, especially in a crosswind, the aircraft just wants to pull towards the wind. Like, it has like this weird rudder input that you have to sort of correct. Something that I noticed. I've probably explained that before, but a little bit weird in my opinion. I know the Phoenix doesn't do that. The other aircraft don't do that as well. See what happens. We're going to be here with the PMDG for 2 more legs, I believe. We're with Air North from Whitehorse to Edmonton, and then we're going Edmonton to Victoria. For some reason, I don't remember what aircraft we're going to be in. So we might only have 1 leg left in the 737.
Locking gear.
We'll roll out those videos. Oh, by the way, Happy New Year, ladies and gents. Welcome to 2024. A lot of good things happening this year for sure. You know, it's going to be a new year. Let's wish for positivity and happiness. Nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
It's not New Year's as the time of this recording. It is New Year's Eve. But you know, for those tuning in, Happy New Year. By the way, we are also doing the frame gen mod. Haven't updated it. I'm not sure if there's an update out for it yet, but I need to look into that for sure. For sure. Engine number 1 over to ground. Wait for a 20% N2.
Parking brakes.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Beautiful. Engine gens can come on. Probe heats coming on. Packs over to auto. Taxi lights coming on. Engine start switches over to continuous. APU bleed and switch is off.
Unlocking gear.
Flaps 1 indicated. Flaps 1 indicated.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
VNav, LNav.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Beautiful. Let's go ahead and get SimLink on. For some reason, I always forget to put that on. While we're waiting for ground crew to move out of the way, let's have a look at our taxi routing. So we are going apron over to Alpha, backtrack, runway 34, and we'll depart on out. That's really about it. So I'll go apron, Alpha, Alpha, runway 34, spin around, out for departure. The wind information, weather information, the winds are 300 at 12. Visibility 4, scattered clouds at 1,000, broken at 1,400, overcast at 4,000, snowing -5, and altimeter 2961. Just make sure we have altimeter 2961 set. 2961 is set. Auto brake set. Yep, all good to go. Recall check. Let's do it, ladies and gents. First things first, we're going to go ahead and clear, or we're going to delete the Yellowknife VOR. No reason to have that in there. There we go. Perfect. Cool little place to fly into. Absolutely. Not much scenery in terms of like what to look at here, but definitely, you know, somewhere people should be flying in the sim. And we'll speed it up down the runway here. No reason not to. When we landed in here last, I, for whatever reason, had my mic muted. Sometimes I do that if I have to clear my throat or whatnot. We'll try to avoid doing that on this flight. It's kind of weird watching that video back and not hearing, you know, the minimums continue and all that stuff. At the end of the runway here, we're going to spin around. Some weird rudder problem with this aircraft. Doesn't like when it's fully locked. Perfect. Lights. Ladies and gents. Throttle's up 40. LNAV VNAV selected and indicated. Let's get out of here, shall we? Toga. Check. E1 and rotate. Ooh. Gusty.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear going up. She's windy. We'll follow flight directors. We're climbing up 38,000 feet. Go ahead, stick the autopilot on. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and lower this brightness. And flaps clean. Auto brake coming off. Taxi lights, runway turn lights coming off. And we are flaps clean. Let's go direct. Beautiful. Nothing to see outside. To be honest, I'm not even sure if aircraft will depart in this. I'm sure they will. It's only light snow, right? $8,000 feet. And we're getting a breakout. Lovely. Nice little breakout there, ladies and gents. $10,000 feet. Kill the rest of our lights. Engine start switches are coming off. Beautiful. We go ahead and turn some of our brightness back up. You only get about 4 hours of sunlight out here at the moment. That's why you can see the sun going down, even though it's about 1 o'clock local time. Not much daylight out in these parts during this time of year. Beautiful, beautiful. Coming up on 15,000 feet, ladies and gents. I'm going to monitor the aircraft. We're going up 38,000 feet on today's flight. Got about an hour and 45 minutes of block time. And I'll catch y'all on the descent into Whitehorse. We are expecting the ILS 32 left approach. My apologies. And in about an hour and 15 minutes time. So we'll see what happens once we get closer to the top of descent, the weather right now is calm, so we should be getting an ILS approach. But anyways, ladies and gents, catch y'all in a bit. Enjoy the rest of the video. Peace. What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the video. We are on the descent into Whitehorse. We are expecting the ILS 3-2 left approach. We are on the Gorov to arrival. We are not direct at Gorov, though. We are direct Memley. We kind of cut ourselves in and went direct there. No sense in going down there. Didn't need to. It's not what the rear-wheel aircraft did. The weather information is as followed. Winds are calm. Few clouds at 17,000 and 2,500 feet. Broken clouds at 25,000. It's minus 16. It's freezing. Altimeter 299.3. This is the approach charts coming into Whitehorse on the ILS 3-2 left approach. We have our nav frequency 109.5, and we need to be, it says recommended 6,500 feet by Kesno, and then 5,000 feet where we capture the glide slope down to the runway. I haven't done an ILS approach yet at this airport. The last time I flew in here, it was on the opposite end of the runway on an RNAV approach. So it is, again, sim add-on scenery. Hopefully the glide slope, will behave itself. Not sure what to expect. Once we get on the ground, we are hoping to vacate by runway 20 and 02. We're going to make a left turn and then a right turn on the Echo for the apron. Worst case, we'll hit Alpha and backtrack. For the most part, it should be a standard arrival into Whitehorse. We are just passing 23,000 feet. We have the aircraft already set up for it. The minimums is 2,556, so 2,556 on the minimums. We are direct Memley, and it's a flaps 30 landing. Should be pretty standard, and we're descending down to 11,000 feet currently. All in all, looks well. The terrain is absolutely beautiful out here. We are using AccuSeason, Rex AccuSeason Advanced. Yeah, this part of Canada looks absolutely fantastic. One day I definitely need to come out here. They do flights out here from Toronto, like I said. This flight is flown from Toronto with a stopover in Yellowknife. And then I believe it's a direct flight back from Whitehorse over to Toronto in the Air North 737-500. Not too far from Alaska. As a matter of fact, I think it's the most northwesternly part of Canada before we hit Alaska. Not too far off the coast there. But, yeah, definitely a beautiful, beautiful approach. Airport is, I believe, somewhere out over there, if I'm not mistaken. And again, sim add-ons, Whitehorse. It's been a minute since I've actually flown out here. I didn't actually test the airport, so we'll see what happens when we get there. And then we are on our second last leg from Whitehorse back to Alberta. We are going to Edmonton with Air North in the 737. Then we got a flight planned over to Victoria, which will conclude our Canadian tours here. We will be, looks like I have planned WestJet for our final flight. We'll see what happens. I'll see what aircraft are landing in Victoria. It is new scenery. It's new to the channel. It's not new to the simulator. Roman Designs, I believe, released it sometime in the late spring, early summertime. We're going down 6,000 feet. We've been cleared down. 6,000 feet set. Sorry, 6,500 feet. 18,000 coming up. We're going to go ahead. 299.3 is plugged in. 299.3. Yep. We left very miserable Yellowknife into beautiful open skies Whitehorse. Not snowing down here. Always snow out here for the most part of the year, if I'm not mistaken. Should be a standard arrival with calm winds. Getting about 114 FPS. Some people are wondering what is my graphics settings. We run high-end presets, clouds on ultra, terrain level of detail set to 130 with the frame gen enabled. You can see some of the terrain there kind of rendering itself in. Let's come back inside, see what the aircraft is doing. Coming up on 16,000 feet, we are looking good. We are about 47 miles out. Looking for the airport. I know it's out there. Still haven't decided on when we're going to do our first live stream. It is coming. Definitely going to be doing a live stream. It's all about timing for me. It's all about timing. I get a small window of opportunity to record some of these videos. So, you know, we're still going to be doing the videos. Live streaming is going to be... The plan is to get them done at least once a week on the channel. That is the goal. It's going to happen. We have to do live streaming. It's part of the flight sim community. You know, everybody's live streaming. Beautiful. VATSIM also, I gotta mention, we are going to be going on the VATSIM network with the live streams for sure. You know, a lot of people ask, why don't I fly on VATSIM? Part of the reason is because the time that I record these flights, for the most part, there isn't any controllers online. I do typically record in the evening time, obviously different parts of the world. But that's the main reason. I have flown on a VATSIM. I got about 200 plus hours on it. I'm, for the most part, pretty comfortable. I have done a couple oceanic flights as well. Not too difficult. Once you understand how to use VATSIM, how to read back instructions. You know, it's pretty cool for sure. Starting that beautiful turn. Coming up on 10,000 feet, sounds like. We're going to go ahead. Landing lights can come on. Beautiful. Aircraft speeding up 250. We're actually going to go ahead and we're going to go 210. Because I believe by Sigma we had to be at 210. That was the recommended speed. For Kesno, we got to be at 180. So I'm actually going to introduce flaps. Flaps 1 indicated. .109.5 is plugged in. Final approach course 321. Let's go ahead and plug that in. And glide slope will be captured at 5,000 feet, so we'll bug 5,000. Beautiful. I think the airport is over here. And we have another speed restriction, Kesno, max 180 on the speed. We'll make sure we hit that. We are going to go flaps 5, flaps 15. Alright, speed 180, flaps 5, indicated. Gonna go hit approach mode. Still about 15 miles out. Looking good. See the runway out there. Looks like there's... oh, there we go. It's kind of populated in. I thought there was going to be some snow on the runway for a second. Kesno above 6,500, max 180 on the speed. We are looking good. The winds are still calm. There's the glide slope coming in. I believe all these trees that are plugged in here is from Rex Accu Season. Looks fantastic. Beautiful approach coming in. 5,000 feet indicated. We're going to stay at 5,000 feet. Missed approach alt is going to be 7,900 feet. We're going to go 8,000. Waiting for the glide slope. Gonna go gear down. Turn the rest of our lights on. Engine start switches going over to continuous. $170 on the speed, glide slope coming alive, flaps 15. And 133 plus 5, 138. We are going to set. So we're going to stay 170 till 5. And let me just come back down here. 130 plus 5. $138 on the speed. Laps 25. Laps 30. Right, we got gear down, 3 green, flaps 30 indicated. We got our ground spoilers are armed. Speed brakes, whatever you want to call them. Let's plug up 8,000 feet. Just in case. All of our signs are on. Everything's lit up. Beautiful. All we have to do now is land the aircraft, ladies and gents. Never no guarantees. Anyway, 1,000 feet. My aircraft. My throttles. Enjoy the arrival, ladies and gents. Let's get the aircraft trimmed out. Checked. Going a little fast there. 2 whites, 2 reds indicated. We're okay. 1 white indicated.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Minimums.
Continue.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. 200. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Oh. Nose gear down gently. Reverse out. A little bit of a firm landing there. Just because it's on a bit of a downhill. 70 knots. Ladies and gents. Welcome down to Whitehorse. Thought I released the brakes there, but guess I didn't. Let's go ahead and spool up that APU. Call up GSX. Gates. We'll go gate. We'll pick gate 2. Vacating right here. Clean up the flapperoos. And we're looking for gate number 2. And I think that's gate 9. Curious to see what that landing rate was. It bit of a downhill, kind of got a planter down. I'll take it though. Probably need to have the main gears inspected prior to our departure out to Edmonton. More than likely. More than likely. Sim add-ons, Whitehorse, pretty nice, you know. I do recommend some add-ons stuff, you know, if you guys are unsure. Some add-ons exclusively does Canadian scenery. Did I say we are gate 2? Yes. Exclusively Canadian content that he does. I do recommend it. His pricing has come down. Try to get this in as best as possible. It says stop, but we're going to follow GSX. Parker brakes coming on. APU gens are on. APU bleed is on. Hill engine 1, engine 2. Taxi light coming off. Probes can come off, ladies and gents. Fuel pumps. Sayonara. And packs can come off. GSX requests deboarding.
Boarding requested.
Beautiful flight into Whitehorse, Yukon. Wow, that's just a gorgeous, gorgeous picture out there. Little firm on the landing. Had to get her down. It's quite slopey. It's quite slopey, so you always got to expect firm landings in good old Whitehorse. But you can hear the bird chirping in the background. That is sim add-ons. There is a lot of detail in terms of like what you kind of get. You know, you got the birds chirping, and you got some people standing outside in the -19 cold, right? It's not bad. I've showcased the scenery once already. We did a flight with the Jazz and the CRJ from Vancouver. But gorgeous, gorgeous background drop there. Once again, ladies and gents,
Passengers boarding started.
appreciate y'all coming out to fly with me today. Again, Happy New Year, 2024. Good things to come. Hope everybody is doing well, and I'll catch y'all on the next flight. We are flying from Whitehorse to Edmonton, Air North 737. Enjoy the rest of your week. Once again, ladies and gents, peace.